they come up with a device that can actually measure these energy fields. And now bolometers are extremely expensive. And that's not the only device. There's lots of different ones. That's just an example. But you can measure them with a device that's been around since the pioneer days, maybe longer, like copper dowsing rods. Now, in the group when we did this live, a lot of you said that you were already familiar with copper dowsing rods, but I'll go ahead and explain it just in case. So it's hard to see, but this handle spins on the copper rod, right? And so you hold the handle without touching the copper in front of you. And just like on the other video, it's going to swing way open because the computer has such a large energy field because it literally puts off EMFs all the time, right? But I'll force them closed. And so you sit in front of your grid and then you can measure the edges of your grid with the copper dowsing rods. As soon as I let go, they want to open. You just got to make sure you have them level, and you got to make sure you're not touching the copper rods here. So you're just holding on to those handles. In the handout, I sent a link to these particular rods. I like them because they send a free pendulum, which I'm sure isn't really free, but I like them. I believe the brand is Doodlebug. You can get them on Amazon, of course. Amazon has everything. So I'll tell you, I was a little bit like, nah, these aren't much fun at first. When I first started learning about crystal grids, and then it was when I lived here in this house. And so, I don't know, 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, there was a water leak at my neighbor's house. And you know, the water company, they have these really fancy like scanners that they scan over the ground, or at least our water company does, and they beep and tell them where the pipes are. And they were looking for the water leak for the neighbor's house. And so I look out my window, just in front of me here behind the computer, and the guy's out in the yard and he's got copper dowsing rods and he's following the rod to try to find the water leak. And me being the nosy person that I am, I was like, So I just went out the front door and casually asked him what he was doing with copper dowsing rods. And he explained to me that that's what they used to find water leaks like that, even though they knew where the water main was, what he was looking for. So they found the water main with the electronic device, and then he was walking along the water main, waiting for the dowsing rod to point him in the direction that the energy of the water was carrying where the leak was. So I thought that was fascinating. And ever since then, I've really enjoyed using them because I was like, wow, that's really cool, right?